Okay, perfect. So thank you everyone for attending tonight's or this evening, depending on where you are, Zoom meeting. So this is our Canva 101 webinar. We're hoping that we can do a few more webinars like this to kind of help you guys with different ways to boost your club's social media, your websites, everything like that. Kind of, as I was saying before this webinar started, share the knowledge that I know a lot of clubs have with each other and kind of do what we can to kind of boost everyone sort of thing, like have that kind of community sharing. So in case you haven't met me or talked to me before, I'm Elizabeth Malcolm. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the member engagement coordinator for CFUW National. I'm also a member of the membership committee, which is where this idea kind of came from. So I'd also like to give a shout out to the chair, Marsha Armstrong, who we had this idea that this would be really helpful to members, and I think that you guys will get a lot out of this. So first off, before we get going, I just want to acknowledge that I am hosting on this webinar from Ottawa, which is on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. Also CFUW members participating. You're attending from locations across the country, which are located on traditional Indigenous territories, coast to coast. So let's get going. So how this is going to work, I'm going to do a quick overview of what is Canva. How can Canva help my club? Some kind of quick facts about kind of social media, which I think will be kind of beneficial to give an idea of how important this stuff is, especially in the kind of nonprofit organizational realm that we are. We're going to do an overview where I'm going to go through the website and kind of show you what's available. I have both the free version and the paid version open on my computer right now to share with you guys. I know that majority probably have the free version or would be using the free version. As I mentioned before, CFUW National does have a paid version, but just to show you the difference, I can do that for you. And then we'll also kind of walk through creating a post together, how we can edit it, what the different changes you can make are, all of that kind of stuff. And then if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. No promises I will see them right away. I have a lot going on my screen right now, but also we can have time at the end for questions if you guys have any. So with that, let's get going. Okay, so what is Canva? So Canva is an online tool that can be used to create different marketing materials for your club, for social media, for really anything that you could possibly want. As I said at the top, I created this PowerPoint in Canva, so didn't even use PowerPoint or anything like that, just exported it and have it on PowerPoint now. So you can create, like I said, social media, there's newsletter templates, there's website templates, there's PowerPoint templates, as I said, business cards, different like flyers, almost everything under the sun you can create. There's a template for on Canva. As I mentioned, this is a free resource. There is a paid version as well. As I've mentioned before this started, I have used both the paid and free version in a professional and personal capacity. And honestly, not a huge difference between the two. In my opinion, there is obvious differences, but in terms of kind of what you're going to be using this for, the free version is not a lesser version, in my opinion. You know how sometimes you can sign up for a different service and the free version has very obvious kind of setbacks and only so much available and stuff like that. I don't see that with Canva. And so I think that the free version is just as good for you guys as the paid version. And as I said, templates for everything you could possibly need. So social media posts, there's templates for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube thumbnails, and all of these are also sized perfectly for the different platforms. So one thing you might know is that different social media platforms like different image sizes more, and will show them certain ways. A Facebook image is a different size than an Instagram image, for example. And these templates are perfectly sized. You don't have to do anything to make sure that they are optimized for the social media network that you are using. Along with social media posts, there's also infographics, presentations, like I said, like I'm showing you right now. And as I mentioned, different printed products. So stuff like flyers, postcards, business cards. There's even templates to create tote bags if you really wanted. Like I said, everything under the sun is available on Canva. And so what I'm going to do right now is actually show you Canva. So one second as I switch what screen I'm showing you. One second, I'm just going to stop sharing and then that's easier. So this is my personal Canva account. It's a free version. So as you can see, let me just move the other things on my screen so I can make sure that I'm seeing what you're seeing. Along here, all the different things that you can create on Canva. Lots of different options. So there's different documents, different presentations, your Instagram posts, Instagram stories. That's a really great thing that Canva does as well, is it has stuff for the posts themselves. And if you wanted to post a story, it's a different size, different kind of idea of what you want to share. They have both available for you. What else? Like I said, Facebook post, presentations. If you wanted to create video content, there's templates to help you do that as well. Posters, logos, flyers, infographics. You can even create a resume on Canva if any of you guys are looking for something, a job, I don't know. Yes, so lots of different options. And just to kind of show you the difference, I'll stop sharing and I'll show you CFUW Nationals account, which, like I said, is the paid version. I have too many tabs open. Here we go. All right, so you can see all of the recent designs that we have created, which you might recognize from our social medias or even the newsletter, which is great. It's great that they save them so they're easy to find, easy to reuse, easy to kind of create templates, all of that. Also, you can see with the paid account, you can have a team. So you can have multiple kind of people on your account, but with the paid account, you can just give the login to other people, and that's not a problem either. So let's hop over back to the PowerPoint and we'll continue going over Canva in just a second. All right, wonderful. Okay, so how this can help. I've kind of gone over different ways that Canva and to an extension social media can help your club. I know that a lot of clubs are really active on social media, and it's great. As I sent around before, CFUW Hamilton is really active, as a lot of you guys have mentioned as well. I know that CFUW Aurora Newmarket, also really great examples of social media use, CFUW Edmonton. There's definitely a lot that are doing really great stuff on social media and promoting your clubs. And as I mentioned before, I think this is a really helpful way to kind of share the knowledge that we all have and benefit each other to help us spread the word of CFUW and everything like that. So as I said, it's a great tool to create social media content, and digital content is a really great way to spread awareness of CFU. Excuse me. I have some numbers here. So here are some quick facts that I've kind of found that I think really emphasize how important it is to have this kind of digital content, whether it be on social media, on your website, if you have a newsletter, everything like that, trying to increase the awareness. So Facebook posts with an image get 2.3 times more engagement than those without. So say you're posting about an advocacy kind of event that your club is hosting. If you have an image with that kind of post, that's going to increase the number of people that see it, the number of people that are aware of it, maybe increase the number of people who become interested in CFUW. What are you doing? What's this event about? Sounds really interesting. Maybe I'll get involved. 76% of North Americans use social media. So it's really important to be where the people are, essentially. And social media has its issues, obviously, as we were discussing prior to the webinar starting, but it is a really helpful tool, especially for membership-based organizations that want to continually get new members and new people involved. And as I keep saying, kind of spread the word of CFUW. And this last one I think is really important and a really great point. People retain 55% more information when it's paired with an image. So if you think about, let's say like a Facebook post, again, sharing just a statistic about, say, I don't know, what's International Women's Day. And you just have a statistic, just plain text, nothing else with it. 55% of people are going, or people will retain 55% more information if you have an image with that information. And I think that Canva makes it really easy to create really engaging images that you can share information through. Which, like I keep saying, at the end of the day is just going to help CFUW, help boost awareness, help spread our message and what we're trying to do. And I think that's kind of a really great thing to do. If we can do it easily, which we're trying to kind of do tonight, then I think that's good for the clubs. So, wrong way. Let's explore Canva and create a post ourselves. So I'm going to hop back over to, are there any questions or anything so far? Sorry, I feel like I'm a fast talker, so feel free to tell me to slow down or revisit. As I said, at the end, we'll also have time for questions. So if you want to hold on to them, that's okay too. But yes, also this is my first webinar with CFUW, so a bit of nerves, but you guys are great audience. So let me pull up Canva again. All right, so as we were showing, this is Canva. Like I said, this is CFUW, so this is the paid account, but as I said, there aren't a lot of differences between the paid and the free accounts, and I can show you kind of how they show the difference. You'll see, actually, you see this little crown image. If you're on a free account, templates that are paid templates will have this kind of logo on them, which indicates that they are for paid accounts, not free accounts. So they do make it pretty straightforward. Also, they're not really going to trick you into what you can and can't do. So as I said, let's do, so social media, as you can see, they have what's popular, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as well. I know that's something I didn't mention off the top, but LinkedIn as well, which is really great. So we can go to Instagram and say we want to do an Instagram post. So we can create a blank Instagram post. And so this is your workspace, basically. So I just want to run down kind of there's this bar here of different tools that are available to us. Not all of them will be useful all the time. Not all of them will be applicable all the time, but I think it's helpful to know what you have in your toolbox, kind of thing. So elements, so design first. We'll start with design. This is where we get our templates. So as you can see, as I said, little pro kind of tag here, which means as a paid account, we have access to it, but a free account would not. There is a pretty equal balance of free designs and templates versus paid designs and templates. So again, I don't feel that the free account, you're really missing out on a lot of content. And because you can play around with everything so much, I think it does give a lot of room to be creative and switch up the designs, even if you have used that template before, for example. So exactly, here are the templates. So different, they kind of show popular ones or kind of relevant ones. If you log in around like Mother's Day, say, there's a lot of Mother's Day templates. You also have styles, which kind of are colors, different font sets, as opposed to kind of a straightforward template. I usually just use a template. I am not creative enough to build something blank with just a style, but if you are, then I support you fully. So templates. Another really great thing is that you can search. So you can see I've searched for how-to, marketing, a book sale. So you're having a book sale coming up. I know a lot of clubs are. Here are all kind of the book sale based templates that we can create that are already kind of good to go, and we can edit accordingly. So see, and as you click on a design, it will come up in your editing space here. I like to click on them to see them a little closer, see if I like them. Sometimes they'll add as a second page, but you can just delete. So next up we have elements. So this is kind of different bits and bobs that they're different tools in kind of one area. So you can add different, say, lines to your posts. You can add different graphics, stickers, photos, videos. If you have audio in your post, that's not something I've really used before, but say if you were making a video, I'm sure audio would be helpful. Charts is really great if you were to make an infographic, if you're making an infographic, which is really helpful for advocacy work, I know for sure. Different frames for images. So you add the frame and then you upload an image in that specific kind of frame. If you add anything and you don't like it, super easy, delete and it's gone. Same with the line, delete and it's gone. International Women's Day. Uploads. So this is where we have uploaded images to add to our Canva posts. So as you can see, these ones I put in the presentation that I'm showing you tonight. Different speakers, I'm sure you'll recognize from across different clubs. And so as I mentioned with the frames, how the images can work is that they can be inserted into the frame. So here, CFUW, just click on them and they add on top. I'm going to delete that. I don't want that. If I want it to go in a frame, so see where these books images are, I can drag and drop and it will go into the frame, which is really helpful. And again, I decide I don't like it. I can undo. There's undo and redo up here at the top as well. You can see resize is a paid option due to the little crown, as I mentioned, and also file for saving, making copies, everything like that. Next up, we have text, pretty straightforward, different headings, subheadings, bodies, different fonts, some fun kind of font combinations. Didn't mean to add text there. To edit text, you can click on it, double click, change what you want. You can change the fonts when you click on them here, changing the text size, colors. Do you want it bold, italicized, centered, bullets, everything like that. Very similar to other programs that I know a lot of you are used to using, such as you said, like Microsoft Word. So definitely a familiar kind of tools, even if they're in a different format. Apps, I'm going to be honest, I have not used the apps on Canva before, but they do have one thing that I was looking through because I wanted to figure out what was kind of most relevant to the clubs is they have the option of a QR code. You can add that, say, to register for an event. I know I've seen a lot of like flyers for different webinars and stuff like that with QR codes. So it is possible to create a QR code in Canva, which would be really helpful if you were to, like I said, create like a flyer for a webinar or an event, and an easy way to scan and get people to register that way. Okay, so great question. How do we load our own pictures into Canva? That is great. So let me go back, and you can see here there's the option to upload files. So there you can upload, get them from Facebook, Google Drive, Instagram, Dropbox. I typically just upload my files. So you go to upload files, you're getting the inside view of CFUW's files right now. But let's say, so yeah, so it's similar to if anyone has used MailChimp, it's a similar concept. Same with a lot of other Microsoft Word is similar as well. So I would go to share. Let's go to, I can't, there we go, membership, or no, I want to member. I'm not giving you guys any secret information, don't worry. So let's go to membership committee, and I have my Canva webinar. And let's see, I have, well, this is a PowerPoint I created, but we can upload it. So because it is an image file, and you'll see it loads over here. Oh, this is the flyer I made. And so it is now up here and can be added. You can see it will give you options of how to add it. So it goes into that initial kind of back frame, or I want it in that specific frame, or I just want it on top. Like it gives you that kind of option. So yeah, so it's really, like I've said for all of this, it's really straightforward.
But Elizabeth, how did you do that? Did you click on the uploaded file and it automatically goes, or did you drag it, or what did you do?
Yes, so if I just click on it, you can see it just adds on top as, say, another layer kind of thing. It just goes on top. I don't want it on top, so what I do is I click and I drag, and I'm like, don't want it on the back, I want it right here. Okay. You'll see it kind of previews where it's going, which I find really helpful as well. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah. And it's really helpful. Canva saves kind of all of the images you've uploaded before, which is really great because, say, I want CFUW kind of nice little logo. I have it in my files. Easy to get to, easy to use again. All of that kind of stuff. All right, so where were we? Apps. So then projects, I believe this is a really great way to kind of organize different stuff you've done. As you can see, we sometimes organize things, sometimes not, but you can create folders. So say you had a campaign on women in your community who have done some really great advocacy stuff. So you're doing like 10 days of advocacy with women of Ottawa, or CFUW Ottawa specifically. You can create a folder and all of your templates will go in this folder. It's just an easy way to keep things organized within the program itself. As well, photos. Canva is great. It has a lot of free photos that you can use. So they are royalty free. So you know how sometimes you'll go and look up a stock photo, but it's Shutterstock. So it has the kind of graphics across it that you can't use. You can, they have a lot of royalty-free photos that you can use. So you'll see some of them are pro, but some of them are free. And like I said, they have trending. So we have a lot of kind of what is of the theme. So we did get a question. When you upload a large photo, will Canva compress the file for web posting? Yes, it will. It is pretty intuitive in that sense. I haven't recently uploaded anything too big, but it will kind of condense it for web posting because it knows that that is what this program is primarily for. So that is really helpful as well. So yeah, a lot of stock photos that you can use for free, which is really helpful. Say you're just doing a post about a webinar. You can be like, I need a photo of marketing. And we have all of these lovely kind of marketing stock photos that you can use to advertise your event. 1 second, I just need to take a drink of water. Okay. So as I said, audio and video is something I haven't used a lot in Canva. So I won't touch on it too much because I want to kind of keep this kind of relevant to what you guys will be doing specifically. Yes, Canva does save automatically. So as you can see at the top here, we've got our little cloud check mark that saves your project. This saves your project automatically. You can also save in the file. So as you can see here, it's saved automatically, which is also really great if you're someone like me who will have several tabs open, forget they're working on something, and then be like, oh no, did I save that? It's saved, don't worry. Videos, excuse me, sorry. They have kind of different stock image photo, stock video that you can use as well. As I've said, that's not something I've necessarily explored, but if you have and you've been able to use it to your advantage, that would be a really great thing to kind of share. You can share that with me, and I would love to be able to share it with everyone else. Maybe we mentioned in the membership committee possibly doing a Canva webinar. This is 101, so 102 of kind of more advanced stuff. And if anyone has experience doing more advanced stuff, that would be really great. So a follow-up on the saving question, which is really great. Does it only save to the cloud or can we save it to the computer? Yes, so you can save it to your computer. So as I'm working on it in Canva, it is saving within Canva. And say I can, let's get into so design. These are books. So say it's International Women's Day book sale. And see, you can readjust the size of the text box. I forgot the word day, so we'll go back and add that. And can adjust. Say I want this folded as well. Let's do that. Click on fold. There we go, beautiful. How I would save it to my computer is I go to the share button. Sorry, I'm just moving some other stuff on my computer. So share. So, and then I would go down to download, which then gives me the option of the file type. that I want to save it as. And as you can see, these options here for compressing the file, having a transparent background, and the size are paid options. But essentially all you would need to, save an image that you're going to want to share on social media is just the file type, JPEG or PNG. Canva is also really great because it will tell you what to save it as. If you're not 100% sure, sometimes I'm not, it will say suggested. Really helpful. And then you can download it and it will save to your downloads on your computer. So there we go, super easy. There is within Share, there's also the option to immediately share it to social. But typically what I do is I just download it so then I have it on file and then I can do with it what I wish. So 1 second, let me check my.
After you download the item and file it, can you go back and change, for instance, the title?
Yes, absolutely. So
without having to go back into the Canva program?
Oh, once you've downloaded it to your computer?
Yeah.
Yes. So I can just show, so you can go into your downloads and it gives you the option to, if you right click on your download, to rename the file, or you can rename it in Canva before you download it. So let's see. So it says Books Day. If I want to say International Women's Books Day CFUW post for March 2023. Then when I download it, it will save as this title. Makes my life a little easier. I know what it is when I download it.
What if you want to change some of the content after you've downloaded it? Can you do that?
After you've downloaded it, so think of downloading it like when you save from Canva, think of downloading it as its kind of final form. It's like the one you're handing in kind of thing. But if you wanted to go in, you look at it, you open it, and you're like, I want to actually add it in the post. So I can go back to like Canva home. I can be like, you know what, that Books Day, the book sale post, I want to edit that. I can reopen it and make changes to it. You can constantly make changes in Canva, but specifically you have to make the changes in Canva. So yeah, like I said, think of when you save it, think of it as like printing it. You can't really make changes after you print it. But if you go back into the document in Canva, you can make these changes. So yeah, so what I can do is I can.
Elizabeth, you went back into Canva to potentially edit this. How did you come back, and why does it say animate at the top and not what it said originally? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So what it will say at the top depends on kind of what you have selected within the image, because it's kind of the toolbar for the content that is within the image. So when I click on the text, it's going to give me the options to change text. If I click on this image, it gives me the option to edit the image. You can see that you can also zoom in so that you guys can see better. The option to change the color of this outside bar. Maybe we like that a little better, or like a nice yellow. I like the yellow. So what you have clicked on depends, what is going to show at the top depends on what you've clicked on. The animate option is if you were to create, like, you know, when you're in PowerPoint and you can make the different like slides when you change what page you're on, that's kind of the idea of animate. So that's not something you necessarily have to worry about for things like social, because it's just kind of a flat image most of the time. So that isn't something you necessarily have to worry about, but I can show you fun little slide in, kind of like a PowerPoint. how you have the different, how the text comes in and stuff like that. But as I said, that's not really something to worry about for kind of Instagram posts or Facebook posts, LinkedIn, that kind of stuff. It's just kind of a fun tool to use for kind of more advanced posts that you want to do, get really creative with it and everything like that.
And Elizabeth, did you reopen that by going to your project tab and then clicking on it? Is that how you reopen
No, so
this?
Canva's really, so I'll go back to the home page of Canva and you'll see that there is a recent designs tab that keeps all of your kind of recent designs. So I don't have to worry about going into a folder or anything like that. Canva's pretty straightforward. I can go, and even the PowerPoint that I'm showing you right now, I can go in and it's right there. It's something I've recently worked on. And so it has it right there for you to see. So that is a good question. So I will go back to our post here. So we did get a question, how can you make an image fade if you want to put text over it? So that is a good question. So I'll zoom in. So say we want to put text over top of these books. So what I would do is I would go to the text option and I would choose probably heading. You can play around with, I definitely recommend that Canva is a great program that you just want to go into and play around. You want to experiment, see what you can do, see what you like. It's definitely something that I think it's a great way to get if you want to get a feel, like you want to get the feel for it. And it is kind of fun to go in and play around and all the different things you can do. So say I want to put, or actually, I want to move this text. Say I want to do this. So I'm going to move this text to go over top of this image. And how I'm doing that is just clicking and dragging. If you just straight up click on the text, that's how you edit it. But if you want to move it, you can see that it creates this little 4 arrows. Move it. Also, you'll notice these lines that are coming up as I put the pictures or the text box in different places. This is a really helpful tool that will help you make sure that your text is centered or it's even with the other text that you have on the image. So as you can see right now, I have the way it's lined up, it's telling me that this is in the center of this image that I am working in right now. And oh, I moved the actual image, didn't want to do that. And because I didn't want to do that, I'm going to press undo. I pressed it too many times. So we're going to move this back. See that centered. I want to make sure that this text is centered as well. Look at that. I move it over here. It tells me that it is like perfectly aligned with the center. So that's really helpful as well, to make sure that your images are perfectly lined up. So you can see that that shows that it's perfectly lined up there. Really helpful. But now I'm going to make this bold so we can see it a little better. But say we want this image here. So I double clicked on that. That is why I can see it and why I'm able to change the shape. I'm done editing. I can hit done. Say I want the image to be a little not, I want it to kind of fade, as the question said. So I can go to edit image. And you can see there's a whole bunch of tools. You can change filters on it, similar to how Instagram has filters. You can blur it. You can create shadows. You can change the color, everything like that. But specifically what I want to use is transparency. And that's going to make it so the image isn't as transparent, and so the text is more visible. And so how I'm doing that is I'm just clicking on this bar and dragging. And you can see that changes it. A great way to change up your images if you want to have, like I said, have text on it. Or you just think it looks cooler, a little more transparent. I've definitely done that. I think it's, it looks better a certain way. Like I said, Canva is a really great tool to play around in. Lots of stuff that you're constantly discovering. I'm constantly discovering stuff. I find it really, I can always learn something when I'm playing around in Canva, and that's something I definitely enjoy doing. It's a fun, creative exercise, I find. I'm just going to go to maybe a different template, because as we've been working in, just to kind of show you guys, like I said, get a feel. So let's say we want to do a LinkedIn post, for example. I know that there's a lot of clubs that are pretty active on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn post. As you can see, lots of templates that you can choose. And you can see that they definitely have specific templates for specific social medias. So for example, on LinkedIn, there's a lot of "we're hiring" or different kind of quotes and stuff that is popular on that social media, as opposed to, let's say, Instagram. There's a lot more content that is definitely stuff you would see more on social or on Instagram. So creating like a bunch of pictures in one, clothes, just more image-based, quote-based. So you can see that Canva knows what's popular on the different social medias, which is really helpful. You have an idea that you're following kind of that template. Okay, let me check. So someone pointed out a difference between the free versions and the paid version. So I'm just going to double check on mine real quick. Okay, yes, that's a really great point. So let me just switch what screen I'm sharing here. Okay. So now I have switched into the free version. So this is my personal account. And so you'll see that past apps, there's no other options. So there are still photos available. It's just in the elements section. So they just have it laid out a little different on the free version as opposed to the paid version. But a lot of the different kind of tools you can use are available in this elements section here. And as I said, you'll be able to tell what is available only for a paid account versus a free account, because you can see I'm on my free account right now and it has the little pro. And you see I can add it, but there's a watermark. So that's a good difference between the free and paid accounts. So this is a good question. Once you create an image on Instagram, can it automatically create the same image for Facebook or LinkedIn? So I do not believe that you can automatically create, like it will kind of automatically generate it, but it will, it's easy to create a similar image because it is already kind of in the same, it's in the right ratios and everything like that. What account? Oh, I'm in a different account. Sorry, I'm gonna switch my screens real quick. I believe that the main reason that you can't kind of just automatically generate 3 posts across 3 platforms is, one thing about social media is that, kind of as I was saying, you notice a difference between the templates that they're suggesting for Instagram versus LinkedIn, versus if we were to go into the Facebook or Twitter options, is that each social media is a little different in terms of what kind of content you're wanting to be sharing. So something that is on Instagram and is a very image-based, limited kind of text might not do as well on LinkedIn, where maybe that is somewhere you want to post something that is a little more text heavy or a little more infographic, like with numbers and percentages and stuff like that. There are a lot of great breakdowns online of what kind of content does best on what platforms. And it's definitely really interesting stuff to look into. As well, Canva has a lot of resources in there. So I'm on the Canva homepage now. So if you go to the Learn section, they have a lot of great tools to kind of help you learn. You can help what you know. So they have a blog where they talk about brand management, how to make different stuff within Canva, designing your own wedding invitations. As well, they have tutorials and different courses to kind of, which I would definitely suggest if you're feeling, if you really want to like get into Canva, the different courses. So how to like Canva for beginners, and it can kind of a tutorial like we're doing tonight. For nonprofits, all kinds of options, which I definitely suggest looking into as well. They have a help center that is very helpful. They show you different like events that you can get ideas for how you can do things for your organization. So Canva is definitely a really great resource in terms of how you can create things, as well as furthering kind of your own education on graphic images and how you can use them to the organization's benefit and everything like that. So maybe, because I have kind of poked around Canva quite a bit, maybe, Barbara, you have your hand raised. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to identify that you talked about the Canva for nonprofit. Because of dealings on something else, I've found out, like, because CFUW National is classified as a nonprofit and is registered that way, that you can therefore get some things cheaper. So Canva, if a club wants to get a pro account, if they go through the national office on the nonprofit, they can get it cheaper.
There you go. That's thank you for sharing that. That is very true. I know a lot of Canva, as well as I think there's a few other programs. I don't know off the top of my head, but a few other kind of programs similar to this that do have discounts for nonprofits. So that's definitely something to kind of explore as you're looking at different stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is a really great kind of question that came up in the chat in terms of storing CFUW logos and text to use on multiple formats. which is really topical considering that we are in the middle of our kind of rebranding or changing up our logo, the visual rebranding of CFUW. So definitely in terms of the logos, it is really helpful. You'd be able to upload them all once we have released the new logos, so that you can have them and make sure that you have them on file. In terms of text, this might be something that someone else who's a little more Canva savvy than I am can address, but I believe there is a way to save kind of your brand template within Canva in terms of the color scheme and the font. That is something that I can look into and definitely include when I send out this PowerPoint and the presentation, like the recording, because I believe it is doable. I've never done it. I've come into organizations with the colors saved, but I've never been the one to save them to Canva, if you kind of know what I mean. So that's definitely something I can look into and how to do, and I can send out a how-to. I'd be very happy to do that. I'll just make a note there for myself.
Mhm.
All right, so maybe I will pop out of screen sharing for a second. Does anyone else always feel like they're being just, I mean, you are being watched when you share your screen, but there's that extra level of like, oh no. But yeah, if anyone has maybe any questions or anything, maybe I can follow up on. If you want to maybe raise your hand within Zoom, use the reaction tool. I think that'd be really helpful. Okay, yeah, Barbara, go ahead. I see your hand raised.
Yeah, had to unmute first. The like we send out e-blasts through our website.
Mhm.
Can we create something on Canva, like with the graphics and whatnot, and then once downloaded, we can then put it up onto our website, the software we use, Wild Apricot. So it says Instagram or Facebook or something, but in reality, the image that you create, you can just use it somewhere else.
No, that's a really great point. Yes, it says that it's for specific platforms and everything like that, but they can be used across platforms. They can be used on your websites. They can be used in your newsletters. Exactly. You can definitely use them across everywhere. It's almost like these are more recommendations of like, these are the sizes that are recommended for Instagram, but I've posted Instagram posts to Facebook before as well, or LinkedIn, you know. They're really great recommendations. It's great to follow the suggestions, but sometimes you have one image and you really like that image and that's what you want to use. Susan, yeah, I see your hand up.
I can't see the hand gesture thing. I just can't seem to see it there. But I was, while you were doing all of this, I thought, well, I may as well try and download the program, because I hate it when you finish a video and then you say, okay, I'll try it, and you can't. So I've managed to do so. But I get to then, you know, fairly early on, but I've got it downloaded, but it asks, who's on my team? And I thought, I'll skip that. But then I thought, if I want to use it and there's somebody else in my club, the CFUW St. John's, and I would probably like her to be able to look at the same one I have, maybe I should do it early on. So can I skip some of these things and do it later, is the question.
Yes, you can. You can always go into the settings, and like any other kind of different platform, you can always go into the settings and make
Later.
changes.
Okay, fine.
Yes, exactly.
Meantime, the downloading was pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and didn't take much time. So I've got it downloaded and I'll play with it afterwards.
Yeah, that's actually also a really great point. So there is, obviously, I've been showing you the web version of Canva, but there is an app available for your mobile phone if you wanted to use that platform as well. I've used it. And it's also very straightforward, very similar to the online web format, and it is really handy also. So you're at an event, or you're at a conference or something like that. A really great way to quickly make a little leveled up image kind of thing. Instead of just sharing the image a picture you've taken, say you can spice it up a little bit, sort of thing.
I'll save that for lesson number 2, but I will ask, where do I find the little hand thing down below? I've looked at the
So
chat.
under more, I believe, there's the reactions, or if you have your window full there, the reactions button.
Sorry, reactions does have recognize hand gesture, and I click it and it's not doing it. Oh, you know what? Now I do. I click it. I've got it there. That's fine.
There
Thanks.
you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah, and then also in the chat, Cynthia pointed out that CFUW BC Council applied to get excuse me, Canva Pro, and it includes a bunch of free licenses. Their communications person, Allison, did the application to get it for free and has included the link. I will also be downloading the chat and sharing that when I send out the recording. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. But yeah, I think that kind of covers everything I kind of wanted to touch on in terms of kind of an introductory look at Canva, kind of what you can accomplish through it, what you can create. As I said, if there's interest, I would definitely be open to doing a more advanced webinar, especially like I said, with like stuff from clubs who have been doing really great jobs with their kind of Canva use and social media use. But yeah, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask, or we can always, you can send me an email. I'd be happy to answer you there directly. Yeah. Susan?
If I do that, let's say that now the person in my club is Ellen Alcock, who is down there on the screen as well. Let's say that I want to be able to share stuff with her, but meantime, I also want to, maybe I've got a side business of making naughty pamphlets for someone and I don't want her to see those. Can I do some stuff and keep it there that she won't just have access to mine all the time, will she?
I'm actually not sure on that one.
Okay.
I know that personally, I just have for myself, I have like my personal Canva account, which like I said, is just the free account.
Yeah.
And then the CFUW National has their own account. From everything, whenever I've used Canva, it's kind of everyone can see everything. That's kind of my understanding, but yeah, so if you have dirty pamphlets, I would suggest creating a separate account.
I'll make them not too dirty and check with her and see what she can see. But let me ask then, if I were to, let's say if I were want to have one for my own self, and I wanted to use the national one you say everyone can see, but could, let's say, myself and you know, just 2 people work on it and you know, have the ability to work on it. Let's say myself and Ellen, without other people having access to change it.
Okay, so when I say that everyone has access to the CFUW National, I just mean like the CFUW National staff, so the head office.
Okay, so I don't have access to that.
Exactly, so you would have access to the account you create and you can share it with your team and
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And if I wanted to, I mean, I could have access to a free one for me.
Exactly.
Could I have access to another free one and share it with Ellen?
If you have separate email addresses, then yes, you can.
Yeah, I got another one to spare.
There you go. You're all set then.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Or if not, I am happy to wrap it up whenever you guys are. As I said, thank you so much for attending. Thank you for spending a little bit of your evening with me. As I said, I will send this out. I will get it uploaded to YouTube and I will send it out along with the PowerPoint. Oh, Anne, go ahead. Your hand is raised. Oh, you're muted. Still muted. And I
And
think
you're muted.
Yeah.
I'm not, you
There
had
you
a,
go. Now I can hear you.
you had a screen where there was text, you could put in text and so on, but I
Mhm.
can't get back to it. Where is it?
To add text to your image. So just
Well,
one second.
If- It was right at the beginning where you had all these side columns, side,
Oh, yes, the
Thanks.
toolbar on the side. Mhm.
yeah, how do you get to the toolbar?
So it should pop up when you select a template. So I can share my screen real quick. So if I'm starting from the home page, I'm going to select, say, I'm selecting the project I want to work on. And then it should just pop up along the side, and text is the T right here.
Okay, I go to home and what I see underneath is home, projects, templates, brand, apps.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's because you haven't selected a project.
Okay,
So once you select, say, like it's giving me the option here, Facebook post. Once I select that, then I'm going to get the toolbar with all
Okay.
of the different things.
and
right.
you mentioned that there were templates for newsletters. Where do I find those?
So I can show you right. 1 second. All right, so if you're on the home page, it has all these different options. So docs, whiteboards, presentations, social media, all of that. If I go to more, it's going to kind of show me a bunch of different things, like the infographics, So also, sorry, you can search here. So if I want the newsletter, I can search, and then under templates, newsletter, and it will give me a bunch of different newsletter templates.
Mhm, mhm,
Good, thank you.
mhm.
No problem. All right. Yes, as people have mentioned in the chat, I would definitely suggest looking at other clubs' social media pages, because a lot of you are doing really great work out there, and that's honestly the best way to get inspiration, is check out what other people are doing. So also just quickly, it will save your projects when you download them. It will go to your downloads folder on your computer. So that's where I would check if you saved your projects to your computer. So yeah, I'm happy to answer some more questions. I know some of you guys are headed out. So yeah, Ellen, you can go ahead.
Yes, I was also wondering, is there a place where templates for a newsletter that show the CFUW logo and those kinds of things, like templates that are specifically geared to CFUW as opposed to a general newsletter or pamphlet or anything of that sort? I'm looking for something where I could drop text in, put in St. John's and
Yeah.
places.
I don't believe we have a template for that. We have the letterheads and different headers and all of that we can supply the clubs with. I know that one of my projects is making sure that the different logos and everything like that on the website, the member resources website, are up to date and uploaded and available. So there are those. I don't believe that we have a template specifically for kind of inserting CFUW stuff. A program that's really great for newsletters that we use is MailChimp. That is another thing I'd be interested, I think, in doing a webinar about, to kind of share that, because it's a really great newsletter tool. But currently, as it is, we don't kind of have a basic CFUW newsletter template that you can kind of just copy and paste your stuff into.
So if I wanted an electronic version of a couple of logos or text and logos, is that available, or would I send you an email to get that?
Yes, so send me an email and I can get that to you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. I think if we're all good, then we'll wrap it up. As I said, thank you so much for attending. I will send this out once I have it uploaded. And like I said, I will send it with the chat and the PowerPoint that I've created as well, just so you have all of those resources. And the conversation that was happening in the chat was really great, with the different members that are a little more familiar with Canva helping answer some questions. So I really appreciate that.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
sorry, this is Cynthia.
Yes.
Marcia's saying she's looking on her Canva, but she can't see where her projects are saved. Can you just show the Canva display again and show how?
Yes, absolutely. So I will reopen Canva here. So I will go back to the main home page. So once you've started working on something, and home, okay. So you want to make sure you've selected For You. And then it will show your recent designs that you've been working on. So you can see all of the different untitled ones that I've opened. Also along the side here, projects, it will show your recent projects that you have been working on. And as I said, they save automatically, so you don't have to go save them specifically. They will save automatically, and you can find them here under recent. So either on the home page under the For You, you'll see recent designs, or along the side here, projects, you'll see recent as well. All right. And as I said, I put my email in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I can help you as much as I can. Like I said, I'm not a Canva expert, but I am happy to dig for the answer. So definitely happy to help on that front. So I guess with that, I will say thank you again for attending, and I hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
Thank you very much.
everybody.
I'm looking for your email. Where is it in the chat?
So it is, I sent it, got buried. So it's member services at cfuw-fcfdu .ca.
Well, I didn't get that all, but where is
Sorry.
it in the chat? Early on or late?
I can send it to you directly.
Yeah,
One second.
if you would, that'd be great.
Yes, of
Thank you.
course. No problem.
It's been really helpful. Thank you very much. I feel like maybe I could use it.
Definitely. I believe in you.
Can you send me your member services email address, please,
Yes,
Elizabeth?
of course. I just sent it to you in the chat.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Good.
Perfect. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
No problem.
Cheers. It was good.
Cheers.
It was so good. I couldn't even finish a glass of wine. I was busy thinking and writing and whatever. Okay.
That's an honor.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Ellen, I'm going to just give you a call in a minute. Okay. Okay. Bye, everyone.